Look at this mess. Guys, I've been working on like YouTube stuff all of this Saturday morning since early. I just need a little bit of a break. And how can I like keep my flow going while also taking kind of like a mental break? Well, I figured I'd take out the Nikon Z6iii because at this point I haven't shot it a ton. And so we're just gonna do this like quick and dirty. I look like absolute crap right now, but I don't care. I'm not dressing up. This is the first time in a long time I've gone out not looking nice. I just want to go take some pictures with the Nikon Z6iii, and I think just because I was making a video and the 24mm f1.8s was on there, I'll just go ahead and do that. Oh my god, it's super hot. I know whenever I open this truck door. Oh my god. It's been about 5 seconds between two different clips, and I'm already like glistening a little bit. Look at my bald head. So we're just gonna jet downtown real quick and take a couple of, the kind of crap I always shoot. Okay, so I've got a little bit of an opportunity. This isn't like the dynamic range test that I plan on doing, but I see an opportunity to give it a little bit of a shot and make a very good point. Now, I'm generally a spot metering kind of guy, but when you get into situations that are like we're about to see, it's not a bad thing to do it in matrix metering because it'll gather the entire scene and try to find a balance between the two, leaving you not having to recover as much in either direction. Okay, so I didn't get the framing I wanted. Turns out there's somebody living under that overpass right now. And, well, I think that's very sad. I don't want to disturb them. So, I don't want to be over there with my camera taking pictures. I don't want them thinking I'm taking a picture of them or anything like that, even though I was going for the other direction. But nonetheless, respect and love. It is damned hot outside. That's just the mental break I needed to get back into the studio and do more YouTube. But first, before I start making more YouTube videos, let me finish up this one. I'll see you in Lightroom. Okay, so I'm in Lightroom. I just took a couple of simple, boring shots maybe to you, but I like to shoot shadows sometimes. But this is the first image that I took that I wanted to show you that if you just get proper exposure, like if it looks like this, right? Yeah, these are going to be unrecoverable if this is what you do in camera. But I just set it to matrix metering, and I set it right in the middle. We can see the sky isn't blown out. This is pretty dark over here. Let's get in at 200%. And let's recover these shadows. Something like that. You know what? Yes, there's grain. Because we just did 100 on shadows. And let's just go ahead and make this an even 1 plus 1 on exposure. And there's a little bit of grain at 200%. Cannot see it at 100. Now, this isn't the craziest test of this, but a lot of the videos I've seen where people are testing the dynamic range, I mean, they're shooting at this, and then whenever they try to recover it, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so not good, and then they compare it to previous versions. Well, okay, so the previous versions look better, but you know what? I wasn't shooting the previous versions because I've owned all the Z6 cameras and the Z5. I wasn't shooting those like this either. Stress testing can be fun, but you can't hold a camera accountable for shooting it like this, which you would never do. The shot isn't there. If this is your scene and using the camera's settings appropriately, like maxed out ISO or whatever, the shot just isn't there, right? If this is what your scene looks like, your shot, it just isn't there. It's not the camera's fault. This is using matrix metering because we had bright sky, bright road, and then dark shadows, and that's the best place to use matrix metering. Get an idea of the whole scene, expose for it, give us a little quick 1-2. I actually want those shadows to be darker. That was the whole point of going out today. And let's make this black and white. And there you go. It had some more shadows right here, and also I wanted to test this out because this is very, very dark. Let's see what we got to do to be able to see this smooth surface. Putting the shadows at 100, I'm not seeing a whole lot of grain, if any, not at 200%. Let's go ahead and do this like everybody else. Let's zoom in at, nope, 400 isn't even probably going to do it. Let's zoom in at 1600% and see what this camera looks like. Wow, what an absolute piece of crap. Now, if I run the exposure to the point where it ruins the picture, yep, then we start seeing some grain at 100 ISO. We start seeing some grain, but the picture doesn't even look good. If we want the picture to look good, about right there, let's pull some highlights, go like this, give some contrast. Actually want to tame down those blues a little, I think. Actually, you know what? This is what I was going out for today. I was going for like dark shadows and stuff, so. Oh, and look at that. After all that, there's a little bit of grain in the highlights. Oh no, whatever are we gonna do? Wow, it's gone, and the image still looks great. I think we'll do this one in color. Pretty. God, that leaf is extremely detailed. We're just gonna do the same thing on this one that we did here. See what that looks like. Cool. The best way to shoot these kind of things, like my favorite time to go out is whenever the sun is, kind of not at noon or sometime past noon, because when it's right on top of you, like it was for me today, it doesn't really cast that much cool stuff. But you can go out at a different time every time you go out to shoot these shadows and stuff, and you get something different every time. Actually, just clicking my preset Gravedigger does pretty good. I don't know. I just think these shadows are cool. If we look in here, let's blast this out. I'm not seeing any grain. Not really. Maybe if I get in at 1600%. Oh my gosh, those pixels are such crap. I'm gonna have to send this camera back because whenever I zoom in at 400 and 800%, everything just looks too pixelated. People just can't be happy. This one definitely needs a linear gradient. Gotta tame down that monster down there. Here we go, cool. Yeah, I just like this kind of cool shapes and stuff like that. Cool. Uh-oh, looks like we have a trash can back here. This will be a good opportunity for us to really see what happens whenever we... Okay, so I put this at +5. Yeah, you know what? There's grain, but it is really, really fine grain. There's not like... It's not like disgusting. It's just there. And look how bad the rest of the image looks whenever I try to... It's so ridiculous. With shadows at 100. Now, let's bring this to like reasonable... You know, people have been testing this at the extreme, which I find fun. Okay, I find that fun. I like doing that too. But like, I'm not raising like a big stink about the camera and being like, well, just because at the absolute unreasonable extreme, it's not as good as previous versions at their unreasonable extreme. So this is kind of interesting because really I was going to shoot this particular shadow and that's like all fine and dandy. Cool. Anywho, really what I noticed after I shot this was this down here. This is like a big grasshopper. And so I just kind of started working my way in on that. Look at the freaking detail. I mean, it is so detailed. I think this one is the best, probably. Or no, maybe the first one's the best. Yeah, this one's probably the best. It's probably the crispiest. Let's straighten this up a little bit. Yeah, look at him. And this is the 24mm, right? So this is extremely close. Like he didn't care at all. He just like let me do my thing. Look at that. It looks pretty good. And we just got like one last shadow here. Boom. Boom. Oh, that didn't come up quite as dark as I thought it would. Yeah, there we go. No, that one's not that cool. It's all right though. Nice and ridiculously contrasty. Oh, wait. Let's see. Oh no. If I remove the shadows to the point where there's no shadows anymore and therefore like absolutely no interest, oh no, I can kind of start to see some grain, but that could also be the concrete. That's it. I'll do more actual dynamic range testing maybe, but I'm not particularly interested in it because I don't think it's particularly a huge problem. It's only a problem when you're at the extremes and you're comparing it to other cameras at their extremes. None of those cameras you would ever shoot in like those situations. So I'm dying on the hill of the Z6iii is an awesome camera. I had fun for 15 minutes in the heat. I had a lot of fun shooting it. It works really good. I'm Z-Wade, the Z-Wade, and Z-Wade Photo, Stay sharp, YouTube.